we both read a blog recently about a guy that was saying that as companies welcome employees back, it's still post-COVID, but folks are having to be sort of schooled, retaught how to behave in an office environment, that there's actually classes for manners at work or business etiquette for professionals, because people don't know how to actually engage each other face to face. Maybe I'll just send an email or a text, even though she's sitting beside me, or even at a dress. Mm-hmm. And so I just thought would be interesting. Like, is there basic civility, basic instructions? Not even civility, basic instructions for friendship. If I'm an alien or I'm dropping on the planet trying to make friends, or, realistically, a high school student, soon to be going to university student that's going to land in a university with 40,000 people around her or him, what kind of suggestions would you say to someone who's going to start fairly clean with the friendship slate?
Right. I think something that's helped me is to have different expectations for friendships. So we've been reading some work by Robin Dunbar, and he's been helpful for me in talking about us having like an ecosystem of friendships, which is good, because then I'm not expecting to find the one person who's going to be my perfect friend or this soulmate, but think in terms of having an ecosystem. And so you'll have about 4 or 5 people who are really close, really intimate friends, and then maybe about 15 people who are good friends. You're doing life with them. And then you've got 150 people, and he would call this the village. And these are people who you would maybe invite to a wedding or a big party. You know them, you're in and out of each other's lives a little bit, and we need those people as well. And so I think that's important. It's just to be realistic about what we're expecting from the different relationships that we're looking for. And then with that, I think going into these relationships, looking to be a friend, not find a friend who's going to complete me, but how can I grow as someone who is a good friend to others? And I think this comes back to what you were talking about, being a friend of God. I think that is the piece that most enables us to be good friends to one another.
Yeah, I think that works in friendship. It certainly works in marriage. If that thing isn't settled with Jesus, then the other person's just going to be a failure, and you'll feel like a failure too. Well, so you tossed me the Super Communicators book.
Yes.
So just a quick on that, because that was an interesting snapshot of, like, when I heard Super Communicators, I thought one thing, and I think he went a different direction.
Yeah. So he was talking about how the best communicators are people who ask the most questions. So they're actually the best listeners. And this is huge for relationships. So that's one of the things we can do to be better friends, is to learn to listen more. I think another thing too is to be ready for the work of friendship. I'm not sure our culture actually equips us for this, because if we have someone who's our friend on social media, we can just unfriend them if it's not working so well. And so it's easy for us to just decide to let relationships go if they're not feeling convenient, or if they're feeling a little bit hard. It's one of the things I love about the Bible, is that it's really honest about what it takes to build a good friendship. And it uses words like humility and forgiveness and grace and mercy. These are hard words, but this is the stuff of friendship. Yeah. So I think we need to be ready for that.
Patience, right? It's so tough, because so many of those posts and everything that I would sort of want to go on social media is theoretically me at my best.
Yeah.
And so I just want you to believe in the myth that isn't me. It's a lot like pornography. Pornography is the worst place to learn about sex. And so this sort of friendship posts or Facebook posts where you're kind of like, I don't think anybody lives that amazing a life, and Instagram message, whatever. So it is the hard work of just 2 human beings or a group of people sort of crunching it out. Yeah. Okay, the last thing that I would say, which is actually counsel that I've read from Tim and Kathy Keller. And they were talking about dating relationships. And they say what happens when someone's dating, they led a church in Manhattan in New York, was they noticed even in their own generation that you walk into a room and you'd case out all the girls, in your case, all the guys, and you'd like say no to about 60 or 70. There's 10 of them say no to 6 or 7 because they just don't sort of physically attract you. So you sort of hone your eyes in on the 3. And they both said, you know what? Listen to everybody. This is you talking about sort of be in the village.
Yeah.
Listen to everybody and, figure out what they're reading. Figure out what intrigues them and watch the friendship follow that.